Welcome to the menu. Yes, we're gonna be doing this again because I still have no replays after the patch, which is a bit of a shame. So yeah, I've been playing mostly USF. I've got a few games in, and I'll check them out. And yeah, other than that, I've been doing a bit of a range team because I have no pride at all. Yeah, so we're in game, and it's obviously, as you can see, this map, Crossing in the Woods, the best map ever. Oh, ally. Now it shows. Okay, that's very interesting. And yeah, basically my ally is UKF, Pitch Slayer, and we on the enemy team we have two OKWs, Rowdy and Sex Pistol. And yeah, I'm gonna turn the fog of war back on. Of course, I decided to do that. Standard start, gonna go free rifleman. My ally looks like he's gonna go for a Vickers. And we go both our separate ways in the beginning, it seems. Yeah, if I recall correctly, I played this game like a day or two ago, so I may not remember everything. But, he's going to go on the right side. He's going to do pretty decently, but he's going to be mostly double teamed, I believe. I'm not even sure. And just a bit of banter. So he finds his first engagement, Storm Pioneers. But that's not what we want to see. Well, it is what we want to see because there's nothing happening on my side. Thank you. Vickers is gonna set up. That's a bad spot for the Vickers because he's in heavy cover anyway with his Storm Pios. Anyway, on the left side, I do find my first Storm Pio squad. On the enemy side, he's gonna be planting some barbed wire over there. It's a decent thing to do when you're just capping and you have nothing else to do. I got my rear echelons trying to back cap while my riflemen go up and fight. I decide to take up this cover, but he's gonna come in with some folk grenadiers to help, and I'm gonna be caught between pretty much a rock and a hard place. I'm gonna try to get on the other side, but at the same time he decides to smartly push up with his Storm Pioneers, and I'm gonna be forced to retreat because he also has another folk grenadier squad, which I wasn't expecting at all, and I get forced away. I try to fight it out a little bit. I'm gonna do some focus fire on the Storm Pioneers. This is gonna do pretty well. Get them to retreat. Very low on HP, got 3 models, so that was a decent engagement. I lost 3 rifleman models unless I decide to, that was a mistake. So I lose 4 rifleman models, which is like 100 manpower, and a rear echelon for 3 Storm Pile models, so it was pretty equal engagement, but unfortunately he gets to keep the fuel point and the victory point, and at the same time on the other side he's gonna be, my ally is gonna be also in trouble because of his infantry sections are getting forced away early on by the Storm Pioneers. So right now I was thinking that I could go and help out my ally, but then I decided to at least try to fight it out a little bit on the left side, which I believe pays off because it just keeps a lot of units tied up while I can actually like help. And yeah, it's not looking too great for us, but we've still got a little bit of a early game advantage thanks to our units being the way they are in the early game. And some folk grenadiers are attempting to capture this middle victory point. I'm just going to try to engage them at close range, just deal some damage to them. Even though my riflemen are pretty much low HP already from the start, they do drop some models on the engagement, and I'm having another squad reinforcing. They have a triple cap, so I know I need to take the point as soon as possible to avoid bleeding too many VPs. There's a Kuba wagon on the right side, and these Kuba wagons are going to be really annoying. Because I believe even this guy gets one, even though he doesn't need one, he's gonna get it. Storm Pioneer is approaching close range, and they will pretty much force away my riflemen, dealing heavy damage to them. But at least we're cooperating in this infantry. He's got his second Vickers up here, trying to help me out. I've got this rifleman squad in the house. They're doing heavy damage to these folk grenadiers over there, and they're basically their whole purpose is just to keep these units occupied into an engagement they really don't want to fight in, because if they retreat out of this, then I'll just come up and take their points. They don't want to do that. I'm getting kind of bled because I've been having a few not unpleasant engagements, which I should have honestly avoided a few of these engagements, but I did end up taking too many of them anyway. I'm gonna try to capture the center with the rear echelons, but he's gonna come up later, I believe, to respond, and we're gonna have the flank, because right now my ally has decided to completely forsake the right side and just go and help me out in the middle, which is a good idea. So I've got finally a replacement. I forgot to finish the reinforcement on this rifleman squad. And I decide to go in close range and just force them to retreat, which did work out. So I go Lieutenant, gonna try to get my M20 out. We still don't have any fuel, which is my main concern right now, and that's gonna pretty much fuck us over for a little bit, because I still don't have enough fuel for the M20 at 5 minutes, which is pretty bad because the M20 is like a really early game unit.
Gather round. I smell orders. What the hell am I meant to do with these recruits? Green is green complete. Well, grab your shit.
So at least my ally is managing to get some harassment down on the right side. We do have the truck gonna come up. And I finally have the strength to push on the left side fairly decently. So I've got all my rifleman squads pushing up along with my lieutenant, and I'm getting my M20 out on the field. My ally is attempting to push up along with me in the center, as long as he's also keeping a screen on the right, which is good. So I managed to get a little bit of a concave going on these forces that are trying to defend. My rifleman squads are in very much deep trouble. I'm not sure why I didn't retreat them earlier. That was definitely a mismicro, and they're gonna die from this flanking Volksgrenadier, so that was definitely a deserved loss because I wasn't really paying much attention to them. But I see that the battle group headquarters is going up, and I focus all my fire on it. Lieutenant with the bar and the Thompson easily destroys it, and then I retreat. So I suffered a lot of losses in this engagement. Most of my infantry got killed, and one squad got destroyed. But I've got my M20 and I killed their battle group headquarters, which is going up over here, thus allowing us to keep a lot more map control, because if that had gone up here, then it would have been able to defend up to here much easier. So that was a really, really worth it trade. So I went for a heavy cavalry company, because I know that the Pershing is going to be useful later on this map, thanks to the fact that this map is a very open map. Very good for flanking, which the Pershing is excellent at. And also because, considering the fact that I was losing some infantry, the Rangers were looking like a pretty good option for me. So I'm attempting to push up on the left along with my ally, who's gonna help me out graciously, and my M20 is gonna do pretty well in pushing back this Kugelwagen, which is up to bed 1, so it could use the ability to recon, but he's not doing it. And here I see that there's another battle group headquarters going up, but I've only got the M20 to shoot at it, and it's gonna poke at it a little bit, but not do enough. And now the Rakenwerfer shows up from the outside of the map, and I'm gonna back out of there. So I decide that since my ally is taking the left side, I'm gonna send some forces to harass on the right side, or rather just completely take it over, because I saw that there were, I saw with my M20 that there were a shit ton of, also I'm going at speed 1, which is a little too slow. There were a lot of units over here, so I just decided to take the right side. Mine was actually here, and I didn't notice when I was playing, I believe. I got my Rangers, so that's pretty decent. It's gonna work out decently. M20 over here, just being a little bit of a nuisance, harassing. I'm going to try to find down some mines soon. I'm just trying to get, at this point I'm just trying to save up munitions for the Thompsons on my Rangers.
Locked and loaded. Area's ours.
Just gonna speed up a little bit, there's really nothing going on. Tries to counterattack me with these Volksgrenadiers, it doesn't work. I see the Schwer a bit too late, but I still managed to destroy it thanks to my Rangers. So that was an excellent pickup. The second battle group, OKWHQ that I destroy. Which again, they're just placing it in really reckless positions, but you know. And for ranks, I'm not even sure what kind of ranks these guys are. I'm pretty sure they're like 500, if I recall correctly. I did look at the ranks, but I can't really remember. So now I've got a decent infantry force again. I went for the captain, but I lose it like an idiot. It's really easy to get your units wiped as USF. So they have a Stuka, and I really am happy about the fact that they have a Stuka, because it doesn't really matter at all with the style of composition that I have. Again, something that's really easy to do as USF is getting your units wiped, which is my main problem with USF. So here the Bofors blocks the retreat path of my Stuart that I got, and the Stuart will be destroyed. I'm gonna get down some mines, as well as push up. And again, as you can see, I lost a lot of infantry, but it doesn't really matter because I've lost the infantry to push them back into the base, and we have pretty much complete control of the map. They're starting to recapture the right side with a bit of a harassment move, which is good for them, but not good for us. So I'll send some units to deal with that. We have a triple cap, which is good. I went for the AT gun because I thought that it would be useful to deal with any kind of tank that would be about to get. And I lose a unit. Looks like a rifleman squad. Yeah, I really need to just work on the unit preservation with riflemen, because I always lose riflemen in games for some reason. Like, they're not that hard to lose, but that easy rather to lose, but I still lose them all the time anyway. So I've got bars at this point, and I'm starting to upgrade my riflemen with them, which is fine. M20 gonna be forced away. Yeah, the M20 is the unit that I've been keeping alive the most, which is a bit of an issue, because it's really not that important to keep alive. So our gracious enemies just keep Stukaing my ally, which is good, because I don't want to have to work to dodge them. Stuka's mine gonna go down on the right side, decent mine placement over there. So now it's just a matter of pushing up. There's again bomb that goes down. They have a Storm Tiger, which is a bit of an issue for us, but we're gonna be fine. So my Ranger's dealing heavy damage in the push. At the same time, I bring up my AT gun to destroy the battle group headquarters. Again, they then get the tanks that I was expecting, but I still use the AT. I go for a 50 cal, which is a good choice, but Nishtuka deals a lot of damage to it, forces it to retreat. Pershing is on the field, and now there's nothing they can do. They lack AT completely. Trying to push up with my riflemen and my Pershing, but the Pershing sees two Rakettenwerfers and needs to run away. The Storm Tiger wipes my rifleman squad that wasn't quick enough to retreat, so that was a bit of a problem. Here, like, I grenade with my Rangers, but it doesn't really. It goes on cooldown and it doesn't do anything. And I grenaded the flak emplacement, and the game is pretty much over. So I've got another match to show you, and it will be up right after this one. Welcome to Liarno, the worst map ever. This one's gonna be a bit of a longer game. So yeah, I'm gonna go 4 speed. And yeah, these guys are ranked 200, both OKWs, SimCity for noobs, and A-Team stars and friends. My ally is gonna be General Octo. And over here, this house is the most bullshit house because it doesn't have a door here, and I always forget that. So the Storm Pioneers will be able to get the house. Over here, they take up this other house, along with this house. They've just taken all the houses, and it's just a slugfest for the houses, as is this map pretty much every time. So I'm attempting to just take the houses and fight for it. Kubu Wagon comes up. Kubu Wagon's really annoying. Just gonna move up, try to steal the houses from them, which is good. But at the same time, it's like kind of floating a lot of manpower. I could be getting a 4 or 5 woman squad, and if I had, I would have been in a better position. But I'm going Lieutenant, I believe. Yes, finally going Lieutenant, because against 2 OKW, Lieutenant is really strong. So we finally pushed them away from the center. It takes a while, but we did it. They have the north, but at least my ally, they managed to get his rear echelons in the lovely fuel point. He's blobbing a little bit of riflemen, so we're gonna push up. We're gonna push up, but he's gonna, for some reason, go back. I'm really not sure what he's doing. I've got my M20, so I'm gonna be attempting to use it in the north. Do something about it. And the Panda Trek is being popped, but so I decided to chase the Panda Trek squad, and then there's this other squad that I can wipe, so I wipe it, but at the same time, the fact that I didn't have armored skirts was a really big mistake. I should have upgraded armored skirts, and they would have survived because it actually got killed basically by the Focus Radio rifle fire and the Kubu Wagon, so they decided to get a free bazooka out of the corpse of my M20, which is bad. Go for the AA half track, which was a mistake, as you will see, because, yeah, I'm thinking, in the open space of this map, the AA half track would be good, but it will not really do anything. fuel cache that my ally builds gonna be destroyed. I'm trying to harass on the south with a few squads, but they still have pretty much complete superiority there. I'm gonna try to just push up with my A half-track, but it's gonna be shot at by the bazookas that they stole. So now they have a Lux, which is terrible. Again, just the fact that they have both of the fuels is just terrible, and there's really nothing we can do against the Lux. My ally does have a few bazookas, so he's gonna be able to push it back pretty easily. But it's still gonna be a pain in the ass. I'm trying to recapture the center, but they've got men in all the houses, which is a bit of an issue. Bringing up the bazookas, I'm gonna try to with the captain as well. I've also got my captain, which is good, but I will not use it very well. There was a mine placed here, and I knew about it because I'd seen the pioneers place the mine. And here comes the double Shrek and bazooka squad, and surprises me and kills my A half-Shrek in one volley along with this house. So I should have been more careful with my A half-Shrek. Really waste of resources. And again, I had seen the mine being planted there, so I'm really not sure why I went there anyway. So I'm trying to use my lieutenant to capture the bottom side of the map, because we really need munitions to upgrade our infantry. At the same time, he's trying to, we're trying to get some support weapons on the field. And I'm trying to get my, okay, my thing to show. I'm gonna be trying to get an AT gun on the field very fairly soon, I believe, and it's not gonna work out at all. So we're bleeding the enemy a little bit, but they also are floating a lot of resources because they are waiting to get their share of Panzerforce and get obers. Then they're gonna get obers and rape us really hard. And I'm really not sure what we could have done to avoid that, because here, look. There's already an Ober squad, there's a second Ober squad coming. And I'm really not sure what we could have done to avoid it, because riflemen with VARs, yes, they're good, but they're really not good enough to defeat Obers. And whatever I would have gone for, they had a counter for. Look, 3 Ober Soldaten being built. Yeah, there's really not much I could have done there. And my ally too, because he went even more for anti-vehicle, because I had a lot of anti-infantry. I've got 4 squads that are good in anti-infantry, so I could have, you know, fought the Obers decently. Not, you know, on equal terms, but I could have done decent against them. But then, yeah, I lost my captain down here to a mine, which is, you know, a bit of a problem. You get the wipe on the Kubuwagen, and this guy's gonna forget about his Volksgrenadiers too, I believe. He's gonna be able to do some damage in the middle. Wipe out another squad. So it seems that I'm, you know, making good progress, but at the same time my ally is getting wrecked by the STG Obers, which also tells us that the Command Panther is going to be on the field. And here I get wiped, I believe, by a spore gun / the Ober Soldaten. And here I try to get in the buildings, but I don't really realize that this building doesn't have a window over here until it's too late. So I'm gonna keep making that mistake of going in there. So I lose another unit, which is the MG that I built. So I lose 2 rifleman squads and an MG in this engagement, and it's pretty much over. There's really nothing I can do. I'm gonna get the Pershing on, but it's really not gonna work out. My ally has a Jackson, but it's a bit too early, and the Pershing is gonna be a bit too late. So now I've got like no units, and I'm gonna try to get some MGs and riflemen and upgrade them, but it's a bit too late. There's really nothing to do anymore. So what I should have done differently is, I'm not really sure, because they just conserved their resources, so you know, they could get Obers, and then we couldn't have done anything against the Obers anyway. So I should have definitely played a bit more cooperatively with my ally. We pretty much played a 1v1 in this game, unlike in the other games that I won, which was you know, a bit of a step back. I just played too much on my own. Now I finally tried to help him out, but it's a bit too late. What I also could have done is gotten a few Rangers. Perhaps a Ranger or 2 would have helped out, but I'm not really sure. I do get the MGs, and they do decently, suppressing the blobs in the north, but at the same time they do have the Storm Tiger at this point and the Command Panther. So really there's nothing I can do, nor my ally can do, because we decided to go for a lot of support weapons, because, you know, that's normally what you would do when you're in trouble against Ober Soldaten. You go for MGs, and then you use AT guns to defend against tanks, but then they brought the counter out with the Storm Tiger. So for the Storm Tiger, having perhaps a Sherman or two would have been good, but we decided to both go for stuff. So as you can see, I've got the Pershing, but it's a bit too late. I've got no rear echelons to repair it with, which is a bit of a problem.
We're losing a capture point.
Tried to get an anti-tank grenade off on that Panther, but it doesn't really work because, you know, anti-tank grenades, they're bad.
Anti-tank gun ready for action.
Just trying to push it with the Pershing, but it's really not working great.
We lost a gun crew.
And as you can see up here, my shit's getting wiped, which is a bit of a problem.
The capture point is being overrun. We lost a gun crew.
Panther comes up, it's going to be easily repulsed, but it's still too late. Because my plan at this point was just to try and get some fights with my Pershing, but it doesn't really work out that well.
Rear echelon troops on the front line. Rear echelon squad ready for action.
I'm getting rear echelons to repair my Pershing, but it's a
One
bit
of our
too late.
capture points.
So he also gets Pershing, and it's like, okay, let's try to get a combined push going, but there's too much AC at this point to, you know, do anything. Because they've got two Panthers, one of which is a command Panther, and then a lot of Rockets, and of course the Shreks. So, really not much. Yeah, I do manage to get a few wipes in the center and the bottom side of the map with my Pershing in the end, and also my infantry. But I should have been playing a lot more cooperatively with my ally.
There's a major reporting for action. A capture point is under attack.
It does get to bet 2, so that's decent, but it's a bit too late anyway. And the riflemen I rebuild do fairly well, so I shouldn't have gone for those MGs and I should have rebuilt my riflemen earlier on. So I would have had a lot of riflemen. Anyway, the Storm Tiger fires at the Pershing.
Friendly's down to 100 points. I say again.
Because possibly if I had like 6 riflemen, I could have overwhelmed the Obers anyway. I could have tried that.
Tank ready.
Like later on, my unit preservation was better.
Capture point is under attack.
Even though when the Obers came out, it was atrocious. Later on, I just started to get a bit more in the groove of fighting Obers. And here it's pretty much over because of the DPs. Because my ally was being destroyed by the shred guy up top, so I should have gone and helped him out instead of fighting over the bottom side of the map, which he couldn't win over anyway because of the Obersoldaten. So I should have gone for the north because there's 2 VPs and they fuel point up there, so I should have just left the south a lot and just sent in the rear echelons there and just fought in the north the entirety of the time. Other than that, that was a pretty good game. I lost it in the end, but you know, could have been worse. And that was an interesting tactic with the Obers, or rather, an annoying tactic with the Obers. I've noticed that a lot of players really like to go for Obers lately, and they're really good. So, by all means, if you're playing Germans, go for Obers. They're good. And yeah, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you learned something, and I hope you enjoyed.